my heart sank.
Yeah, it had to.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Bad Times, Good Stories podcast. My name is Joe Flanders. I hope you are having a marvelous week. Today on the show is comedian Shapel Lacey. He is a really funny and talented guy who I met the day we recorded this. And I think we just had a really fun conversation. He made me laugh a whole hell of a lot. We have a lot in common as far as high school heartbreak, going after the wrong people who have shown no interest in us, but that's just motive to try even harder. We talk about several instances of this that he experienced while on the competitive cheerleading team. It's fun talking to somebody who did that, as that has not come up before on the show. And he made some big swings. He made an album of music for a girl, and that didn't go so well. Also, a trip to Victoria's Secret. So, we really dive into that, and it was a great conversation. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, give us that 5 stars on iTunes, folks. It literally will take you like 10 seconds. I want to thank all of the people who did so in the past week, and even the 2 people who wrote a review. So thank you to Listener from the Burbs and Alley Cat for leaving their awesome reviews. I really appreciate it. It's nice to know that people care enough about the show to leave a little review. You can also check out badtimesgoodstoriespod.com for past episodes, merch, and a link to the Patreon page. We have a new patron. Thank you to Liam for becoming a patron. I really appreciate the support that you are now giving me to do this show. It means a lot. Welcome to the Patreon world, and thank you. Lastly, you can email me at badtimesgoodstoriespodcast@gmail.com and share any bad times that you've had, and I may just read them on the air. So, that's all I've got for now. Without further ado, here's my conversation with Shapel Lacey. All right, so you said you just got off work, so thanks for coming over right after work.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You said you worked at a hotel?
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing over there?
In-room dining, room service.
In-room dining.
Yeah.
I like that. Is that the fancier way of saying room service?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, I like
I'm
it.
like, hey, I do room service.
Who are we kidding?
Yeah, who are we kidding?
Not that that's something to scoff at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably pays pretty well and stuff, and
It
you're
does.
just dealing with people.
Because, I've worked in hotels since 2012.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. But I was doing valet. So this is my first time in, like, food and shit.
All right. Does it feel like an upgrade to be inside and not moving cars?
You know what, man?
You miss that?
Yeah. It's the most... That's very simple.
That's true.
In-room dining's pretty simple, too. But, like, fucking... parking a car and bringing up a car is literally the most simple thing.
That's true.
Yet, a lot of people can fuck it up.
That's true. See, yeah, I mean, what? Just because, I mean, you're backing into tight spots and all that stuff. And
when you valet, everything's back then. You back in when you park it, you back in everything.
I don't know if I could handle the pressure of, like, somebody drives in like a Maserati or something. I don't know if that was happening in Phoenix.
Usually those cars you just leave up top.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like the safest thing you could do. It's like
just avoid.
Yeah, you got a big insurance claim on your hand with that type of stuff, so it's easier just to leave that. Yeah, you just leave it.
I believe that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Anytime those pull up, some of the guys are like, "Oh, let me drive it." And I'm like, I don't give a damn about that car.
Yeah, you're not trying to have a Ferris Bueller trip, out in a fancy car thing.
Like literally, you're gonna move it fucking 2 feet, so go for it. You know what I mean?
Well, how's the in-room dining experience? Are most of the people nice? Do you have any like dickheads or like?
No, I mean, most people aren't dickheads to me.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I am very approachable.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like, you know, if someone's trying to be rude to me, I just treat it like, you know, like with comedy, like a heckler.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just make them feel really dumb. Only thing is that there's just not an audience laughing at me doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like obviously, if the audience is laughing, they get like, oh, this person's not the most intelligent folk.
Right. And they're like in on the joke, and it's like a whole thing, communal experience.
Yeah,
Oh, he's saying what I wish I could say to this asshole.
Yeah, because like a lot of people, like in those cases, like in the work environment, they'll freak out and like, oh, you know, because the person's like reacting crazy.
Right.
Me, I'm just very calm.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen,
This
you know, I remember one time, this was a valet. Our valet was full. You know, we had a bunch of cars come in for like a big event in our hotel in one of the ballrooms, and it filled up like really fast, quicker than we expected. And you know, so we put up our full sign, and we were directing people to the, you know, the second, you know, optional parking or whatever.
Yeah.
And dude comes up and he's like, I want a valet. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, unfortunately it's full. But I was like, you know, there's just parking just right here. You know, it's wide, you know, so many spaces, blah, 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 all that. And
Not
he
a
goes,
big deal.
He goes, why are you punishing me? And I literally broke it down to him. I said, sir, I make $7.50 an hour plus tips. You think I woke up this morning to just destroy your day by saying there's no valet? Like, I was like, that's the most rich thing you could ever say.
It's the most rich, dramatic. Why are you punishing me?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who hurt you, but that's I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, you think I don't want to take your tip?
Right. Yeah. I'm sending away money.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what
I'm like, right now, I'm
now.
sending away money.
Yeah.
That's basically what I told him. I was like, sir, I didn't wake up this morning at 6:30 to get here at 7, wait for you to come here in your nice truck just so I can tell you that there's no valet.
What did he
You're
say?
on punishment. And then he was like, man, he's like, you're right. He goes, where'd you say that parking was? And I was like, just right there. Like, literally. There's another time too. Like, I rarely deal with these occasions, but there's one time I was in charge of our hotel was busy and a bunch of people needed taxis.
Yeah.
And so I was in charge of like getting people taxis, waving down taxis and stuff. And it was just like another part of the valet job or whatever.
Sure.
And I had a line of people, you know, waiting for taxis, and a lady went up to a different coworker of mine that wasn't in charge of the taxis or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know why he did this, but he was like, yeah, I'll get you one or whatever." But what he was supposed to do was relay that message to me,
Sure,
which he didn't, you know.
All right,
and so a taxi comes up. Obviously, there's a line, and the lady was like, "That's mine. I'm next." And I was like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "I'm next." I was like, "No, there's actually a line." You know, it's like you get behind these folks right here, and you know that's when that's
how a line works.
Yeah, that's when you'll get your taxi. And she was like, I can't believe that, you know, I'm getting treated like this. And I was just like, like that was supposed to be my taxi. I'm supposed to be next. That guy said I was next, and I was like, well, he didn't tell me that.
Right.
And I was like, lady, I was like, I'm not trying to not put you in a taxi. I was like, I realize you're standing here with your daughter, and I was like, I'm not trying to not help you guys get a ride.
Sure.
Why would I do that?
What do I have to gain?
Yeah, what do I have to gain? literally, that's how I talk to people. And most people are like, you know, like are scared to say those type of things to like customers,
right? Because
they're like, the customer's right, the customer's right,
right.
I'm like, nah.
They're right unless they're not.
Unless they're yeah. And so when I explained that to her, that I wasn't, you know, trying to like not put her and her daughter in a taxi. Like
Yeah.
I realized, like once I made the realization, like I was like, I realized you're with your daughter.
Yeah.
You know, I know you guys are trying to get home. It's late. You know what I mean? But there is a line, and I'm not trying to not put you in a taxi.
Right. You'll get where you
know
need
what I mean?
to go.
Exactly. And then when I said that, she's like, you know, I'm terribly sorry for yelling at you like that.
Well, that's good. It
Yeah.
seems like you have the best way of just sort of shutting down any potential drama. Because
Well,
if
yeah.
you're just like calm and rational and basically point out the absurdity of what they're saying.
Well, you know what the thing is a lot of people are quick to give people something for free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing with people. They're like, you know, give them this for free just to. I'm like, what? They didn't deserve anything free just because they yelled.
Why are we rewarding people for being an asshole?
Yeah, exactly. You know, so a lot of those situations I just deal with on my own, and like
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, like I do want to help you. That is my job. You know what I mean?
Did you ever? Was there anybody who didn't realize how ridiculous they were being?
No.
No. See, you got a gift, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very calming presence. I dig it. All right. Well, good.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at that shit.
So you've been in LA for like a year. Before that, you were in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And we said, we were just talking beforehand, that we both graduated in 06.
Yeah.
And does the story you're going to tell, was this a high school story?
Yeah, it's high school.
All right. All right. So we got some, well, I'm not even going to tee it up.
Yeah, you graduated 06?
Yeah.
And then you moved here?
And then I went to North Carolina for college, and then moved here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I moved here.
Was that Duke?
I went to North Carolina School of the Arts. It's
okay.
It's like an arts. It's like one of the only public arts conservatories
With
in the country.
Caitlin.
Yeah, that's how I know Caitlin.
Got it.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's great.
I heard it's a cool school.
It is. It's like this. It's like the bastard child of the UNC school system in that it's just like an arts conservatory. We have no sports. Our mascot is the Fighting Pickles, which is more just a joke than anything else. It's like a pickle with like a sword.
Man, that's real shit because
Yeah.
back home in Arizona, there's a community college out there, and the mascot is an artichoke. Yeah,
That's awesome.
fucking artichoke.
Well, I don't know if you follow the NCAA tournament that's going on right now, the basketball tournament, but I didn't know UNC Irvine made the tournament, and they're the Anteaters.
They're the anteaters.
Yeah. It's just they became my favorite team. I mean, it's just nothing
When
imposes.
did mascots start becoming pussies?
I know, right? I know exactly. Yeah. What elicits fear more than the deadly anteater?
Scared of cats. What is a fucking anteater?
Yeah, I know. I don't know the.
That's whack. You might as well throw a sloth in there. Or a koala bear or something. You know what I mean? Like you might as well throw those. That's not the ones you want.
No, you wouldn't
No.
think so.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I think we can agree on that. What would be the best? What's the best mascot or team? Like, what would be the most intimidating? Would it be?
Man,
I mean, like tigers, bears, lions. Those are all good.
I mean, in the sport, I mean, I didn't do sport. I mean, I was a competitive cheerleader, so
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is
So
exciting.
like, I didn't play. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
all
catches people off guard
Yeah.
because they're like linebacker. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I can't even tell you what a linebacker does. To be honest, I don't know any position in football.
Do you get that a lot? Do people just assume that you know sports?
Right off the bat.
I would imagine.
Oh, people just look at me to go, hey, D1 college linebacker, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
No.
Like, no.
Does that ever get old?
Nah, I don't.
it
You know,
doesn't
I
matter.
mean, it used to annoy me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But now I'm just like, it comes with the territory.
Right.
It comes with the territory of my the shape. Who, obviously they look at. I don't care. Like judgments don't bother me. You know what I mean? Because I know who I am.
Right.
And
That's great.
You know what I mean? So like it doesn't, it used to,
Yeah.
like when I used to have like when my anger problems were like uncontrollable, then it was.
Mhm.
But like I mean, now I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I know who I am. All I have to say is, oh no, I didn't play that.
Right.
I would, really big into. I'm a black dude that's really big into punk rock and heavy metal, and Oasis.
Yeah.
I love that band. I love Oasis.
Were they Wonderwall?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of deep cuts.
He just asked me were they Wonderwall. Luckily, my anger is controllable.
Be patient. I know. I'm testing you. I'm testing you right now.
That was a good test. I was a competitive cheerleader. I was doing shit that, not everyone was doing. You know what I mean? So I never obviously to do that kind of shit, you gotta kind of not give a fuck what people say and just let them say what the fuck they say and just not let it affect your day.
Do what makes you happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in that realm. I was the mascot at my high school.
All right, man. This interview is over. I'm just kidding.
Now, was the insult that mascot was in the realm of what you did? Was mascot below in the social hierarchy of high school?
I was sitting here talking about
was competitive cheerleading, and then much lower was the mascot.
Yeah. I did the mascot one time at my junior college.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's kind of fun actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because no one knows who the fuck is in there, and then you can just literally you're in a fucking costume. It's just fun.
I had I did it my sophomore and junior year of high school.
Oh, you did it in high school?
Yeah.
Got it. Because the college didn't have sports.
No.
Got it.
And also, after 2 years, I did the first game of football my senior year, and it was 90 degrees outside. And I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But I remember I auditioned at the end of my freshman year of high school, and I did the Chris Farley Chippendales sketch from SNL.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was gyrating. And I went to a Catholic school. I didn't give a shit. I was just gyrating and everything else and humping tables and I got the gig.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I did football and basketball. We were the Stallions. So,
okay.
A one-man suit. I wasn't the ass of the...
Yeah. I was going to ask you that.
I got that one a lot.
Yeah. See? And you answered. You got to it before I could.
I did.
Respect that. Because that's how you can tell you got it a lot.
Yes.
Because you're like, no, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Nope.
That's smart.
I was a dignified stallion.
That's smart, Mr. Flanders.
Well, I have my moments.
Yeah.
All right. So some high school love that didn't quite work out. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's tee it up. What's the story here?
Man, there's a lot.
Okay. Start as far back as you need to go. Who is this girl?
I ain't naming names.
Well, we can give her.
They don't deserve that.
We can give her.
You don't deserve no names. I'm good.
You're not bitter.
I'm on a new shit. I'm doing a podcast in sweatpants right now. What are you going to tell me?
You want to give her a fake name?
Both of them I cheered with.
Okay.
All
right.
So just cheer, teammates, if you will.
I will.
Man, so my thing was I would fall super hard for girls.
Okay.
Super hard. I was I was creepy, but not in a horny way.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I was just very, I was quick to like a girl right off the bat, so quick.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't need to know anything about you, I just knew I liked you.
So is it mainly a physical thing, or they might say something, or
I knew this surface level thing about him that I was like, oh, he just seems so sweet. You know what I mean? I was that guy.
Yeah, who just had the blinders on. It was I don't know who they are, but I want them.
Yeah. And romantic comedies and R&B music fucked me up. You know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, this is how you do it.
Right. It's sexy to be persistent.
You know what I mean? I was like, this is how you do it. You gotta, do shit for them. You know what I mean? Let them know. And I and when I would like a girl and she wouldn't like me back,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't think I'm liking them hard enough. You know what I mean? I was like, I ain't liking them hard enough. I need to go further. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was like, how do I do that? I need to go above and beyond.
I need to
which
show.
I think I've always been that kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, just to go above and beyond. Think fully, you know, just outside to give the best that I could.
Yeah.
You know what
Sure.
I mean? Like that's just with anything. Like with like, you know, getting really good at skateboarding, getting really good at cheerleading. You know, with comedy, you know,
Right.
stuff like that. I've always thought like above and beyond. Like, you know, there's, you know, what else can I throw to this to give so I can give the fullest potential of it.
Sure.
And that's how I was with girls. You know what I mean?
Did it ever work?
No. No. What do you mean? Did it ever fucking work? And you know what? One of my homies is calling me, yo, Thomas, I'm in the middle of a fucking podcast right now and you're calling me on my phone. I don't need this right now. I'm in the middle of a story about me with girls back in the day.
Prioritize.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm reopening. I call it reopening cases. That's what I'm doing.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Gosh, you get it fucking.
All right. So this is case file what? Maybe 12, 13,
Yeah,
14?
12, 13.
All right.
So we'll start with the girl that got me into cheer.
Okay.
So yeah, I had a super. So I played in like a little ska band.
Nice.
When I was like 15.
Yeah.
We didn't do much. You know, I mean, but we had our fun and stuff.
Sure.
It was short lived.
Peaked early.
Yes. But my drummer, his sister was a cheerleader and stuff. And I had a big crush on her, man. Like, you know, and you know what was so weird, it's so funny is that like, you know, I rarely even talked to her.
Yeah.
But I just knew I liked her.
Kind of from a distance. Just like,
Yeah. You know what I
see
mean?
you.
Like, yeah. And like, I mean, like we would have conversations. We knew who each other were.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, it wasn't, you know, like enough to where I go, oh, I think I like him back. You know, I mean, now I'm aware of this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I was younger, I was not.
Right.
You know, I was just like, oh, you know what I mean? So this is the first girl I went above and beyond with.
Okay.
So yeah, I was, even though our band like dispersed or whatever, I would still jam out with her brother at their house.
Yeah.
You know, and which I always loved jamming with him, but it was another reason.
Right. Yeah. The added bonus.
Yeah, the bonus above and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm getting to know things about her more and more, but I'm still terrified to like talk to her in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and so I remember her birthday was coming up, and I can't fully remember how I found out, but I found out like her favorite like perfume scent.
Sure.
Which also had a body wash, which also had a lotion, which also had a shampoo, like the whole 9 yards, right, man. Right. All of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna go above and beyond. I'm not just getting the perfume. Okay.
You got it all.
Yeah, come on now. First of all, it wasn't even my money that I used for it. It was my buddies. Which shouts out to Brandon Showers for doing that. You know, we still buddies today. Shouts out to you for paying for that. You probably don't even remember, but I do. I remember it clearly because I was in love. But I remember it was, me, my buddy Brandon, my buddy Cody. I remember so I wanted to get her the whole, basket for her birthday. Yeah. But they sold it at Victoria's Secret.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get it.
So we walked to the mall, which the mall from our house was like, it was like a 3 mile walk. You know what I mean? It was a trek. You know, it wasn't not like but But like when you're younger, you know your shortcuts and shit. But still, it's
Sure.
still long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not short.
No, it's not.
And it
around
was
the corner.
summertime in Arizona.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a trek.
So, and I still remember her birthday because it's the same day as my brother's. But anyways, that's
Not bitter. Not bitter.
no. But so yeah, we walked to this mall, and I remember being in there, and I was like, "Yo, damn it! I wish I remember what the damn scent was. What the fuck was it?
Was it like Was it like a one-word thing? Like,
No, it's two things: strawberries and champagne.
all right, there it is. Came back.
Yeah, came back.
Strawberries and champagne.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, not only do we got that." I said, "I know you got. I need all of that together. Okay, I need all that in a cute basket
Wrapped in a
right
bow.
now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then we get it right and walk all the way to her house, which was like past our house, like me and my buddies, because we all lived the same neighborhood, was past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it was a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember getting to her house, knocking at her door, asking for her, and I gave her, I said happy birthday, and then she gave me a hug. I remember.
Okay.
I remember that hug.
Yeah. I bet.
And after that hug, we that was it. She's like, "Oh my God, thank you." Boom. And that
Close
was
the
it. Yeah, close the door. Yeah. But to me, I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
I did that.
Yep.
I got a fucking hug."
Mm-hmm.
I don't get hugs often,
Right.
but I got one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like this fucking dirty punk rocking. Like
Sure.
I had I used to wear this jean jacket vest all the time. The whole I was the whole get up.
Sure. Yeah.
And I remember that night, my friends and we went to a movie. I remember the movie we saw because we snuck in, Mr. Deeds
Nice.
with Sandler.
Oh yeah.
We went and saw Mr. Deeds,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole time I'm just on cloud nine. You know what I mean?
Hugged me.
Yeah, she hugged
Loved
me.
it. I
She
nailed
loved
it.
the fucking. I nailed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was feeling
Yes.
that. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I nailed that shit, dude."
Yeah.
And then after the movie, me and my friends we would go randomly hang out at school after hours. We
Yeah.
would just do that.
Sure.
We were barely at school, but we would hang out on campus we would just hop the fence, and just hang out. I don't know why, you know what I mean? But it was our territory. But my buddies were like, "Yo, you got to ask her to be your girlfriend." You know what I mean? Like, you got to hug. She loved the fucking what?
Yeah. She's begging for it.
Yeah, they're like connect the dots.
Yeah,
Chappelle.
it's
Connect
obvious.
the fucking dots right now.
Yeah.
All right. You're about to solve the puzzle. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I am." And my homie gave me his phone. Cell phones just was starting to pop.
Right.
So yeah, I call her up, and I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you want to be my girlfriend?" And she was like, no."
I love how brutal these conversations are. Oh.
It was so funny, man.
Yeah.
It was so funny because my heart sank.
Yeah, it had
You
to.
know what I mean? I was like, damn. I was like, I thought I did it. You know what I mean? And that was like I ain't liking her hard enough. You know what I mean? She don't get it. She don't get it. You know what I mean? I need her to understand
Oh no.
and get it.
Instead of the takeaway being, oh, maybe I should get to know this person better before I ask her to be my
Bruh.
girlfriend. No, I'm just going to throw more stuff at her.
Yeah, I was all in. I was like, "Oh, I see you and I raise you."
All right, so you weren't done yet.
No.
Okay, so then what happened?
So I was still, like I said, I was still jamming out with her brother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one day, we were all out in this field or whatever, and she was showing off her tumbling skills, from cheer. And originally, See, I think, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, when I was like 5 or 6,
Yeah.
I taught myself how to do flips and shit,
I
which not
envy that.
many people knew at that time. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like it was like a secret that I had.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what a perfect opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in this field, and I was like, yo, I know how to do that. You know? And she was like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, I do. And then showed her, and she was like, you want to join cheer with me? And I was like, yeah.
Oh boy.
I know,
Okay,
man.
so you joined cheer basically for her.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably didn't give it much thought. You're like, yes, I would like to join.
Yeah. I didn't give it
Yeah.
any thought.
No,
I just fucking
exactly.
did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like, phew.
So what was y'all's relationship after she turned you down the first time? Was it awkward at all, or did you just kind of like, all right, this is where we're at now. I'm going to get past this.
You know what? Like, I think what made it not awkward was the fact that I was just so like clueless to I got rejected.
Right.
Like I still knew I got rejected.
Right.
But I was like in a sense clueless to it.
Right. It was
You know what I
almost
mean?
like
So it's just like, oh, he's not being weird.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a nice guy.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
his intentions are good. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You just looked at her
He's
like,
not like
she was just like, no, I won't date you right now. You're like, oh, okay. Well, later.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Okay, so then now you're doing cheer with her.
And then we only did it together for like 2 years, and I fell in love with it. Yeah,
That's great.
I just was like, oh, this shit is tight.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
awesome.
she ended up quitting or whatever, and I stuck out with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another girl that I cheered with that I like had a pretty hard crush on. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, before we get to her, was there a last? Did you ask her again if she wanted to be your boyfriend?
No, I did not.
You just kind of like lingered and like played the waiting game. Like she'll come to me eventually.
Yeah, and then
she just didn't come.
never.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And I got real good at cheerleading. I got really good. You know.
Well, the great thing is that you actually did enjoy it. So like a positive. Came from this.
Yeah. I was like, damn. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can fucking. You see my splits over across the way? Were you looking? You weren't? Oh, okay.
I'll do it again right now.
Yeah,
for
you want me to do it again? They're really good. They're really good.
Oh man. Okay.
So then,
So there was another girl.
yeah. So then there was another girl that I cheered with that I fell for, you know, pretty hard as well. And you know, I was like, I you know, like it was the same, you know, pretty much same like skeleton.
Right.
You know,
Don't know
if you
who she
will.
is really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. You know, you got to really get to know people.
You do. Yeah. And that's where you wish you had the friend that was just like, can you list me 4 things that you know and like about her?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But at the time, you're just like, no, but she's the one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
She
that's
looked at me
how it
that one
was,
time,
you know?
Yeah.
And so I started off with poems and shit, you know?
Oh.
I got, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was, so funny shit. So basically, I was like, okay, I didn't go that hard, you know, with enough for the first girl
Yeah.
to like me. So I was like, I gotta really put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's bigger than cheerleading.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's bigger than joining cheer.
Yeah.
You know, it's beyond that.
Right.
What do I need? I need to be clever from in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I remember I was in this English class, and I wrote this fucking. Then we had to write poems and shit.
Okay.
And I wrote this poem about her, which got an F. That shit got the fattest F I could have ever fucking gotten. And I looked at my teacher like, you sure? Like but you didn't read. Did you see you didn't care about that part, huh? Like that.
Yeah. The pentameter didn't work, or the rhyming scale was off, or whatever the fuck.
What would you? This ain't a haiku. You know what I mean? Like this is what'd you expect? Teach like fucking. Do you know why I wrote this?
Could you say that getting an F was an omen of what was to come?
Oh, I kept that shit. I kept that. I was like, okay, no, fuck you, teacher. You know what I mean? But here's what I got, teacher. Okay, I got a fucking guitar. Okay. I was like, I got a fucking guitar. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a guitar, and then my friend had a Mac. It was like when the Macs just started getting popular.
Yeah,
and
like iMac maybe.
Yeah. And they were flat.
Right.
You know what I mean? They weren't the big way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he had garage comes with GarageBand. Right.
Yeah.
And then literally he was so dope. Shouts out to Brett Giroux, by the way. Brett Giroux, motherfucking greatest producer, in the fucking history of producing shit. He don't produce. I mean, he produced that album. That was a problem. That's his only work, but it was great work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his room was so dope because you go in his room. He lived with his mom and shit, and you go in his room, and he had a red light outside, like at the top of his door.
Nice.
And so his mom knew not to come in when that fucking red light came on.
That's damn legit for a high school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was dope. And so, we recorded I think it was like 7 songs.
All for this girl
in the night. Yeah. Like I think in like 2 hours. Who's dropping? Who's recording like that?
You.
So yeah, I get out that poem. Yeah. And that was the first one I did. Bro, I did this all in one take. I give a fuck about a mess up.
Nah,
it's coming from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. See? Exactly. Yeah.
At least I thought.
Right. That'll translate. She'll get it.
Yeah. Because to backtrack, because at first I was writing her like these poems and giving her these poems and shit. And I even think one time I got her like a Build-A-Bear.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay, you don't like me right now. I'm just gonna build up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so,
what was her reaction to any of these? Just a shrug, basically.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is really sweet. Fuck yeah. Okay, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Wait till the next thing.
So she's giving you no indication that she's interested in anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
But me,
yeah.
You basically tell me like, yo, fucking leave me alone.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure. I was the same way. So.
Yeah. So then I stepped my game up. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I got to do this.
Yeah.
And I took that poem, and got my guitar, and I think I even played. I did steal Kurt Cobain's, the song about a girl.
Yeah.
That riff. It's because it's just a E minor and a G.
Right.
And but I played it in like a different.
Right. You made it your own.
Different rhythm.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was the same.
Sure.
And it was about a girl. So
yes.
Come on now. Thank you, Kurt Cobain. Bro, I was clever as fuck. Yeah. I don't think you understand.
Oh, I'm getting it. Yeah. In your head, you're like, I'm a genius.
Dude, in my head, I'm a fucking genius. John Mayer was popping. I wasn't that good, but I was like, okay, I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take that and bring it to my level.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, John Mayer. John Mayer, another person,
Was that the Room for Squares record?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are familiar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was that, that did it for me. I was like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Because when Body is a Wonderland dropped, what could you tell him?
Right.
What could you tell John Mayer at that time? Nothing.
You
know what I mean? Like,
it's like you nailed it.
Yeah. So I took it and brought it to my punk rock level.
Right.
Right. And recorded that first song just fucking straight through. Boom. He was like, all right, first track, next track. And then one was like, basically we wrote it on the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like right after we were done with the first track, wrote it and I'm literally playing and reading, didn't decide how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
What's the melody, anything like that. It just fucking came because I seen John Mayer do that. So, J May, my boy. Dude, I'm telling you, like, I put thought into this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, basically, that's how we were getting the songs out, was like, okay, we wrote it down, and then I just start playing it and going, and then boom,
Now, are these all about her?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you remember any of the lyrics?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
What do you got?
The poem one, I don't remember. Oh,
Yeah.
No. What did I say? The poem one, I was like, because I had this vision, like, in high school.
Right. Oh, yeah.
At the mall, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, she's, I was picturing a food court.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, she sits alone at a table, which is the food court. And there was a Panda Express right there. I remember that because that's what I envisioned. She sits alone at a table looking around. Fuck. What was those lyrics?
I know.
Hold on.
It's been a long time.
Can't she see that I want to be with her and tell her that I adore her, 'cause I love yes, I love but I wake up and dream still. That's all I remember. Fucking made no sense, but dude, it was from the heart.
Right, and it was very clear what
And
your
I remember
intentions were.
There was one part I stuttered on because I was reading the lyrics, and I'm like weird. I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I write small.
Sure, yeah, just to make it challenging for yourself.
I was like, as long as she's here. Oh, here with me, and then I just went back into it, and we kept it out because that's the one take.
Right, couldn't do it again.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I recorded these songs. One was
Okay.
a rap song. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
But those guitar
6
ones,
songs.
yeah, it's like 6 songs.
Okay. All right.
And so I remember I delivered it to her at practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember someone took it from her and went to play it
Oh no.
on the stereo at the gym.
Oh,
and I
no.
was fucking like,
Oh no.
oh man, it fucked me up, dude. She didn't hear it because why didn't she hear? I can't remember. She didn't hear it yet.
Okay, but everybody else did.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And so, because I had copies of that shit.
These are all like burnt CDs, right?
Yeah, it was burnt CDs.
Did you use like a Sharpie or did you write on it?
Yeah, I called the album "Brutality in the Making."
Oh.
Yeah,
Deep.
deep. You know what I mean? I was like, it's still gotta be punk as fuck, I can't just fucking write. I could write rumor squares, but I can't. I can't do that. I couldn't do it. That's J May. You know what I mean?
You got to be you.
Yeah, I got to be me.
These might be love songs, but
Yeah, this is it.
gotta
These are
have
love
some angst in there.
songs. This is about you, but
I got it. Okay. All right. So everybody else hears it. But she doesn't for
everyone's
some
like
reason.
laughing.
Oh God.
Oh, everybody's laughing. Oh, I remember why. She wasn't there yet. And my homie took it out of my bag.
Oh shit.
He took it
on,
out of
guy.
my bag. Fucking took it out of my bag and then popped it into this big speakers.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a cheerleading gym.
The speakers are usually for jock jams, and
yeah,
now
exactly.
they're playing your
Now they're
stuff.
playing and everyone's just like, like, what's is that Chappelle? Oh, that can't be him. And then, so then they stopped fucking with me. They took it out, and then I gave it to her, and I was stoked, And then one of her friends, another girl that was a good friend of mine, was like, I was like, yeah, so she was like, yeah, she was playing it on the bus, and everybody was laughing at it.
Oh, no.
I was like, but was she laughing at it? Yeah, she was laughing at it. So I was like, fuck. Bro, she kept those. I don't know if she still has them, but she had those songs for years on her fucking iTunes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she kept the songs.
just haunting you.
Yeah. Because I was like, yo, give me my fucking album back.
Yeah, so was there a conversation or anything? Like, you gave her the thing, you heard she was laughing out and on the bus. Did you talk with her about it?
I know. I said, give me my album back.
What'd she say?
I need to put this in the fucking Sam Goody, all right? That's what I need.
Somebody else is going to appreciate
someone
this.
else going to appreciate it.
Did she give it back?
Obviously, yeah, she gave it back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
It was like years later. Years later, she gave it back.
She kept it the rest of the high school?
Yeah, and
Man.
but yeah, it wasn't even until I think my second year in college or something like that, I got it back. Something like that. You know, it was like a couple of years later or whatever. But still, like, fucking, that's
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you put yourself
yeah.
out there. It's just like,
Needless to say, yeah, no, never happened. Nothing at all. But you know what I can say is that you know, I respect both of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. The first girl, she basically like, you know, saved my life by, you know, asking me to join cheer because I was a crazy motherfucker. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
you know, the anger problems, and I was just going down the, you know, the wrong road and stuff like that. So, you know, I respect them both deeply, but y'all could have fucking, you could have fucking, you know,
Been a little blunt with you.
yeah. No, I mean, obviously it's high school, like, what,
Right, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well,
you know, no one knows who the fuck they are.
No.
You know.
Yeah, and they don't want to hurt your feelings, but they
yeah.
also aren't trying to lead you on.
Yeah,
and you're just, when you have those blinders on,
fucking,
you just take anything they say that's not strictly negative as, oh, they want more, they want me, they want this.
Exactly, because like no one wants to break someone's heart.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you got to.
Right.
You have to break someone's heart.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't just like, you know, you can't
just keep it going, you know, like hope that they'll get it.
Yeah. And you know, and it makes a person stronger. Because you know what I did? I fucking stopped.
Yeah, was that the end of it?
Fuck yeah. I was like, what? I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I don't fucking.
So after you stopped all that, did the romantic life get any better?
No. Like, no.
So you basically went from
pretty much non-existent.
So you went from trying way too hard to not trying at all,
fucking
with the same results. But you say you have a girlfriend now.
But yes, I do.
So how did that come about?
It's fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, if I'm just jumping ahead.
What was it saying? Oh, it's pretty much like after that, I was like, being vulnerable sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, fuck this.
Yep.
You know, so I hated rejection and shit like that. So I never put myself out there in that way.
Yeah.
Which was best because, you know, I like I said, my anger wasn't even controllable, you know, probably, you know.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I was
what was going on? Pre-cheerleading.
So I grew up in a very abusive home.
Okay.
And so all I knew was like violence, you know. And so from the time I can remember, you know, from my earliest memories.
Mom, dad, both?
Dad.
Okay.
Stepdad.
Stepdad. Okay.
So stepdads, y'all need to step your fucking game up, posers. I'm just kidding. There's some good ones out there.
Right.
But a lot of you suck. No, I'm not bitter. I was just kidding.
Well, it sounds like you're allowed to be bitter.
You can ask anything because I'm like cool about this shit.
Yeah,
Most people are like, yeah. You like, you know, even for me to even say it right now, like obviously, you know, people were like, oh, he's processed this shit.
Right. And that's honestly, that's the whole point of this podcast is to talk about rough stuff that you've processed and you're able to like laugh
shit,
about or whatever.
You know? So, but, and that's why I would fall so hard for women and like treat them in such like, you know, sweet romantic ways because of the way I saw my mom being treated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I saw that and I was just like, oh, like, and then I saw the romantic comedies and I was like, that's why my stepdad sucks. He don't watch romantic comedies.
Yeah.
That's what the rom-coms is where it's at.
The truth is in the rom-coms.
You know what I mean? So, you know, so yeah, I grew up, you know, very, very, very violent home. And, you know, which, you know, obviously all I knew was like anger,
Right.
and obviously I was super sensitive, to be as angry as I was. I mean, you have to be like, there's a lot of sensitivity to be just that easily triggered. You know what I
Right.
mean? You couldn't say the word father around me without me flipping out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, blood starts
Would you
boiling.
say dad? Huh? You got a father? A good one? Bro, I'll fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like that's how crazy
The word dad was an attack on you, is how you took it.
It was so silly.
Oh, my dad made my lunch today.
Yeah.
What the fuck you say?
Yeah, he made your lunch? He didn't throw it at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I was easily triggered, you know what I mean, like very just easy set off, and just the most simple way, but I was just so sweet to women. You know what
Because
I
your
mean?
stepdad wasn't that way to your mom?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, women deserve to be treated this way. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I was just like, I don't want to, like I didn't fully understand that until I was older.
Yeah.
That's why I was the way I was.
Sure.
A lot of this stuff, like I said, reopened all this shit, and like pretty much like dissected it all to like fully understand it. You know what I mean? Because it's my story to tell, no one else's. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and that just goes for everything in my life, like the damage that's been done to me and the damage I've done. You know what I mean? Like all that shit is for me to have, no one else. You know what I mean? And like literally all that stuff I carry with me, because now I know how to use it as fuel to be a better person.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's taken a lot of work to do that. A lot of times you see people like call out someone's like, stuff that they done and shit like that. But it's like, yo, that's not your job. You know what I mean? That's that person's story. It's not your job to fucking,
Have an opinion on it or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, it's not your job, man. Like they haven't got there yet. Let them get there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't do that. So it's just like you people like to attack people in these ways based off their own insecurities. Shit that they haven't dealt with.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like that's not how it works. You know what I mean? You gotta understand your own individuality, and you won't react and like, because then you see someone that has done something, back in the day in their past or whatever, and you got to understand like, oh shit, this person, just understand that person went through something that made them do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some type of insecurity fucked them up in a way that made them do that. A lot of people don't fucking think about that.
No, they don't think why the person did it. They just think this person did that, and now I'm going to do this. And,
yeah, you know what I mean? Something fucked up, and don't get me wrong, there's just fucking bad people.
Yeah,
you know what I
of
mean?
course.
Like, I'm not saying that, but like
Right.
at the same time, people that people that have that are really trying to do good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, for the now. You know what I mean? You got to really appreciate their story and their journey and how they got there. You know what I mean? They had to do some fucked up shit to obviously understand how to be a better person.
Right.
You don't just become a better person without understanding
It
that
takes
stuff.
making the mistakes and hurting people, and then seeing how that what you did to that person.
Fucking girls hurt me. Yeah, you see where I went back? You see where I
Circled
fucking
it back.
you see how I circled it? I'm ridiculous. I'm sorry. Man.
No. I mean that's well, yeah. Real quick as we wrap it up, how did that was a good circle back?
Yeah.
I'm talking to a comic.
Yeah,
you gotta pay it back at the
bro, I
end.
had it in my head the whole time. I was like, let me.
You're like, ooh, we're getting a little serious here.
Yeah,
We're getting a little serious. Ooh, let's drop the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a comedy show.
No, that's all love.
Yeah. So what does in hindsight? How long have you been with your girlfriend? Currently. What day is
So
it?
how long we been? Dude, like 9 or 10 months, something like
Okay,
that.
and this is like the longest, like the first real relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
you can't even say the longest.
Yeah,
you
the
just say
real.
The real. Yeah. The
Sure.
real.
Yeah, because I've been in my first real relationship. I mean, we've been together like 3.5 years now.
Oh,
but,
hell yeah.
But my story is very similar to yours. And
Yeah.
for the audience, I mean, I'm not going to bore the audience with the same, they've heard all of my shit.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that was constantly me. You blame romantic comedies, I blame Garden State. Because I was like, if I'm just a mopey sap of shit, then a quirky, fun girl will play the shins for me.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, and I was the class clown, but then like at parties, I would just be the one brooding by myself. They'll come out and sit next to me on the bench.
Did you win class clown?
Oh, I did, yeah.
I did too.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Bam.
I did too.
But yeah, I mean, just constantly going after girls who showed absolutely no interest in me. A girl who did have an interest in me, I would use her as like my sounding board for how I could get with these girls who aren't interested in me.
Shit.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, but I didn't know how. I was so immature that I couldn't handle the fact that she liked me. I was like, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
What? Well, I don't. It was just constantly going after the wrong people.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's just for years. And then I met my girlfriend at a summer camp. We were both working at it. She wasn't a student.
Oh, right.
That's another one I get a lot.
All right.
That's another one I get a lot. Oh, was she a student? No, she was not.
Did you get that? Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm like, no, this is a high school camp. But it was. I finally just had learned because the end of my online dating thing was that I just my desperation got so much that. It's like, want to go out? And I just relaxed and was just a person. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we got to see each other every day was a benefit.
Yeah.
She had to see me.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, it's just, in my long-winded way of asking, I think I just took all of the things that I'd learned and like kind of subconsciously just applied them or did the opposite thing I had always done.
Yeah.
And it actually worked out okay.
Yeah.
So how did you and your girlfriend get together?
It was just, I mean, it was one of those organic things we met out here in Los Angeles. And it just, like I said, I became a person that was just like, I don't care. I'm a big Henry Rollins geek, what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, he's just like, yeah, I don't need fucking anybody. And I was just like, yeah, you're right. I don't need anybody either. So I've just been that way. You know what I mean? And, we started hanging out, organically, just strictly as, for instance, it was there was nothing.
Right. No agenda. It was
no agenda.
Right.
It was, and then all of a sudden, this chemistry just started happening and it was just like, and I was just like, what are these feelings that I'm having?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I don't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even she was like that, she's like, I don't want and then just, but like the more we tried to fight it, the more we were just like, shit, you know what I mean? And so, eventually we, the more we hung out, the more we just, found this romantic chemistry, and then here we are, 9 months later. And what's really cool is that is that we understand individuality.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like at the hip kind of thing, and like we don't post much about our relationship or anything, because it's like it's more for us to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, than to exploit or share or
the world doesn't need to have that, you know what I mean? Like it's strictly, for us to have, which is a lot, I think, almost in a sense, is a lot better, you know what I mean?
It's it's healthier.
Because I'm one of those people, like, I don't like weddings.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I don't give a fuck about anyone else's love.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And people get mad at me when I say that, but I'm like, why do you want me to care?
Right.
It doesn't mean I don't like you or like your significant other or like you as people. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
It's just like, well, I don't want to care about your love. You know what I mean?
It's a private thing. It should be for the two of them. Why do I need to be here?
It's equivalent to me loving this microphone.
Right.
Yeah. Why do I need to love it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you don't need. It's not even that great a microphone.
And everyone's like, but it's a celebration. It's a, and I'm like, listen, okay. You want a toaster? Just holler at me. Shoot me a text, okay?
Well, and that's awesome. So it definitely seems like the past has helped you in the present.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes.
Shitty at the time, but you know.
I still fuck with John Mayer heavy.
Dude, the John Mayer trio.
Oh,
I wish they would
trio.
put out another record.
Have you seen them live? Do that live?
I've never seen them do. Oh, I did. I can't remember if I saw them live or not. How do I not? I guess not. I would remember.
I saw him. What was it, last year? No, 2017. I saw him. It was John Mayer's tour, but he brought the trio along with him, and they did like a fucking jam, which was like.
Yeah, that trio record blew my mind. I was
just like,
because it was a chance for him to really show off his skill.
Because like he even said like he writes songs that are like obviously for the fans, and then there's songs on his albums that are strictly for him. You know what I mean? And you can tell by the way he writes them. So shouts out J May.
Yes,
we're gonna kick him one day. I met him when I first moved out here.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was cool.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Yeah,
these are episodes I live for. This is a lot of fun. So, do you have where can people find you on social media and stuff?
At Shapel Lacey, SHAP as in Peter, E as in Edward, LLACEY.
There it is. All right.
I don't do Twitter. I mean, just follow me on Instagram. That's probably when I do the most.
Yeah. Who's writing anymore? Just take a picture.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The picture. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That was the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much to Shapel for coming on. Like I said, I had a great time, and hopefully we can work on something together in the near future. If you enjoyed the episode, give us that 5 stars. Just do it. Thank you. That's all I've got for this week. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And until next Wednesday, keep laughing.